Hey, Chris Liepe here. I just found out I get to go to a Rage Against the Machine concert very soon. I'm excited. And I thought, I haven't done a video on Rage in a while, so I thought I would react to a performance of Rage playing in 1993, Killing in the Name, one of my favorite Rage songs, featuring a very young Zach, very young everybody. Incredible use of dynamic resonance. And if you know how to listen to Zach, you will be able to unlock lots of really high notes in your voice. You'll be able to figure out the sensation of mixed voice much faster than if you're just trying to hit high notes that you're uncomfortable hitting now. So bear with me here. I always say on this channel that the best way to unlock higher notes, and I work with people in my course this way too, the best way to unlock higher notes is by going at it from a speech-based perspective first. We have to figure out how our speech voice can be very flexible. This is all speech voice. Listen carefully to what he does in light of my commentary as we go through this. So key. If you'd like more help with your own voice, if you like my approach and you'd like me to become your vocal coach, click the link below and join my free voice course. That's the best place to start, and there's lots of ways, including private lessons and group lessons, that we can work from there.
They use force to make you do what the deciders have decided you must do.
Okay. I've decided you must do. That's the timbre of his voice right there. The deciders, notice that range. Everybody can talk in that range, right? Well, not everybody. He's got a little higher voice and he's young, but just keep that in mind. Now listen to how this arcs here.
They use force to make you do.
They use force. They use force. Notice how his pitch, not notes, but his pitch goes up when he yells. Lots of people don't do that. Lots of people they use force. They just keep getting gruffer and gruffer and stay in the same range. Partially maybe because they're afraid of their voice cracking. Keep listening.
What the deciders have decided you must do. They use force to make you do what the deciders have decided you must do.
What the decider? Ooh, my voice cracked a little bit. Who cares? Experiment with it. What the deciders? What the deciders? They use force. What the deciders? What the deciders? What the deciders? He is impassioned here, and you can tell my voice is doing all sorts of things as I'm sort of dialing in his tone. The point is, though, and he's not trying to dial anything in here. He's just emoting. They use force to make you do what the deciders have decided you must do. What the deciders! Yeah! Yeah! Now, I'm not trying to sing. What I am doing is I am pushing up to a very vulnerable part of my voice. If I'm not careful, my voice might crack. To the deciders! To the deciders! But as I learn to feel out what it's like to raise in pitch as I get more intense, just that simple concept is going to help you feel out how to emote in a naturally higher voice like he's doing. He's using mixed voice. He's using compression. He's using crow. He's using a lot of things. Deciders! He's using a lot of these sorts of things. He's not thinking about it. He's worked that into his muscle memory. But it's super compelling to hear how he uses it in his speech in this sort of rap-ish kind of way.
Come on.
And his voice isn't that high. His normal speech resonance is not that high. Come on! Yeah! Great scream there. Even right there, there's music to that. Killing in the name of. Killing in the name of. That's not just killing in the name of. It's that programming of I'm going to be loud and I'm going to train my voice to, as I get louder, I get higher, as I get louder, I get higher, and allow myself to break here and there, but continue to inject support into it. Louder I get higher, as I get louder, I get higher, and accept all of the breakup that might accidentally happen, and lean into it, and then you get really cool screams. Listen carefully.
Some of those that work forces on the sick and bar crosses.
Yeah.
Some of those that work forces.
Some of those that work forces. He's kind of whispering. So much variety in what he's doing. It's so cool. Try that with your own voice here. Some of those that work forces. Make sure that sensation of rasp is high in your throat. It's not this. It's not old man. It's stage whisper combined with clean voice, clean speech voice. It's so fun to experiment with these things without having to try to hit certain notes. It's why I love musing with Zach.
On the sick and bar crosses. Some of those that work forces on the sick and bar crosses.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Killing in the name of. Killing in the name of. Do what they told you.
Listen to this build up here.
Do what they told you. Do what they told you. Now you do what they told you. Now you do what they told you. Now you do what they told you.
Yep.
Now you do what they told you. Now you do what they told you.
Now you do what they told you. Now, here he's not getting into that screechy sort of sound. He's purposely keeping it darker and more contained because in the next section, even though his pitch isn't going to change that much, on the justified, it's his tone and his level of compression and his vocal posture is going to change. What's so neat is that he's demonstrating here, again, no notes, how possible it is to be so expressive without definitive melody by just being really speech expressive. I know it sounds like I'm being a broken record a bit, but the best way to do this when you are singing, this kind of dynamic resonance and compression and screaming and all these mixed voice things, the best way to do that when you are singing is to start by doing it when you don't have to sing.
Now you do what they told you.
Listen.
And now you do what they told you. And now you do what they told you. And now you do what they told you. Those who died,
Listen.
justified. But in the bed, take it to say what? You're justified.
You justified, fine. Those who died, yeah. He didn't go up in pitch that much. Now he's using this sort of crow nasality thing too. Those who die, yeah. He's not shutting off his nasality entirely. He's not always nasal, but there is a component of that. Wearing the badge. There is this component too of getting your mouth involved, and part of his accent is doing this some, but even that rap attitude or spoken thing that he's doing is contributing to this. But having a super, I'm going to talk and I'm going to let my lips just really fill with air. Not lips, but cheeks. That sort of sound. I know I'm exaggerating and I sound like Droopy Dog. But those kinds of things that you do with your face as you're working out how the rest of your resonance works, they all come together. Take things to extremes and experiment with them as you're working with this. So key. can hear it there. Chosen white!
On the same and burn crosses. Some of those that work forces. On the same and burn crosses. Some of those that work forces. On the same and burn crosses. Some of those that work forces. On the same and burn crosses.
That it crosses! Oh! Crosses! You can hear notes there if you really listen, and you can also hear him cracking. If we try to do this stuff and we are afraid of cracking, whoop, my voice cracked, I must not be a real singer. Nope, these guys, everybody that's good at this stuff has learned to lean into the cracking. That's what makes these screams so compelling. Neymar! See if you can hear anybody in the crowd doing it. Did you hear his voice crack there? Under control! It wasn't a perfect thing. Lean into it. One of my favorite guitar players ever. I'm just stopping it for timing and algorithm and YouTube gods reasons here. Starting again.
Fuck you, I won't do what you tell me. Fuck you, I won't do what you tell me. Fuck you, I won't do what you tell me. Fuck you, I won't do what you tell me. Fuck you, I won't do what you tell me. Fuck you, I won't do what you tell me. Fuck you, I won't do what you tell me. Fuck you, I won't do what you tell me. Fuck you, I won't do what you tell me. Fuck you, I won't do what you tell me. Motherfucker!
Notice how broken up he is there. He goes from this very controlled tone, yeah, to yeah. This is not something that he's planning. This is something that over the years and his practicing and his vibing with the band, he has stumbled upon. That doesn't mean we can't learn from these things, place things in our voices correctly, and then do the same thing. Not everybody has the opportunity to experiment in a musically enriched way that Zach has had. And if you want more help with stuff like mixed voice and developing distortion in your voice, grit, stuff like that, I've done literally hundreds of YouTube videos that help you do this. And if you want to get more in tune with the foundations that are going to help you get there, that's what my free course is for. Yeah. I think one of the key things to take away from watching any, especially live, Rage video, if you are curious about your own voice, is that his natural speech voice is not really different from anybody else's natural speech voice. Yes, different voice types can come into play a little bit. He's got a naturally higher sound, at least right now. It'd be interesting to hear what he sounds like now after all these years live. I'm looking forward to this. But he doesn't have anything that you don't have other than a particular awareness of how to really push his range in his speech resonances. This is so key. Remember that. He doesn't have anything that you don't have. Experiment. Do it safely. Do it in short increments while you're feeling things out. Take these tips. Check out some of my other YouTube videos as well. See you for more.